Hey everybody, welcome to Example Play, the home for strategy, tactics, and more. If you haven't subscribed already, now's your chance. It is January 19th and it's time for another strategy gaming news roundup. And the big news for this week that I'm looking forward to is the Steam Real-Time Strategy Fest. So this will be a week-long event, the 20th to the 27th, where a ton of real-time strategy games are going to be on sale if you're looking to buy. And then they're also going to have demos for lots of games. I've seen news that there's going to be some updated demos. There's going to be new demos for upcoming games. So it's a great time for you to get your hands on and try out some games, which is my favorite thing about these fests, is that they seem to encourage developers to put out lots of demos. So I'll definitely be doing a video later in the week of some of the games that I try out their demos, play them a little bit, see what I think. But of course, you are able to jump in there yourself and get your hands on all of these demos too. And then, of course, if you're looking to buy something, now is a great time. They're all going to be on sale this week. So look forward to that. All right, so now we have some smaller updates for a variety of games, but a couple of them are really unexpected, but very welcome updates. The first being that for Strategic Command War in the Pacific, it got a patch which added Steamdeck compatibility to the game. That is pretty exciting because I don't have a Steamdeck, but I have a ROG Ally, which is the same kind of little handheld PC with console type controls on it. And I've tried to play a few war games on it before, and really the main thing you run into is that the controls aren't configured for it. So you're stuck kind of manually setting up all the controls, which you can do, but it's kind of a hassle. So getting this update, which adds it in natively to the game, is really cool. I haven't tried it yet, but I plan to try it for sure and see how it works out, because it would be awesome to be able to play a little strategic command at work on my lunch break, get out, do it a couple turns. That would be very fun. So I hope this trend continues and we see more war games add these type of controls, because I think a lot of them are conducive to that style of play on a handheld, just if the controls are set up. So let's see some more of that, and I'll try this out sometime soon. All right, now another update that was very unexpected, but very welcome, even though I don't think I'll get to experience it since I don't really have anyone to play this with. But Total War Empire, yes, blast from the past. Total War Empire has got an update which adds campaign multiplayer, an open beta for a campaign multiplayer mode that they're adding in. And they had it before. I guess you had to get invited in to play it, but now it's open for anyone to try. I have no idea how well this works or how it works or anything, but it's always cool to see really old games get updates adding new features. And Total War Empire was definitely one of my favorites when it came out. I haven't played it in forever, but just, you know, if you're out there and you got friends and you think you guys might play this, get excited, because yeah, you can now play the campaign and multiplayer. Looks like a lot of people are excited. Got 5,000 thumbs up, a lot of comments on it. So that's cool. And then also it kind of asks the question of, well, if they're updating Total War Empire to have this, you know, are some of the other games going to get something like this? Are we trying to get some interest in Empire again? Like, is Empire 2 out there on the horizon? That would be something I would totally be excited for, because if you know from back in the day when Empire came out, it was kind of a mixed bag, because it took the scope of the game to never before seen levels and was really cool in some ways, but also broken in a lot of ways, and it was a mess. And then the Napoleon version that came out after cleaned up a lot of it, but also reduced the scale, kind of streamlined things to make it work, but took away the grandiose level of Empire. And so people have been wanting Empire 2 forever to finally give us what that game should have been. So I don't know. I'm hoping maybe this means Empire 2 is in the works and they're drumming up some interest, or maybe it's just some random developer's been working on this and they've put it out, and now you can play the campaign and multiplayer, which is cool too. So I don't know. We'll keep our eyes out, see if any more news for Empire comes out. Next up is Age of Darkness Final Stand. This was been in early access for a long time, and it finally released to 1.0 last week. The big change with the 1.0 release was it added multiplayer, co-op multiplayer, which has been promised for a long time, and that came out with the update. It looks like, I don't know, maybe they should have run that update through the early access portion a little bit before the 1.0 release, because the game's getting some mixed reviews on release, where it had been very positive before, mostly off of that multiplayer mode being a little buggy, not working quite right. So hopefully they'll get that patched up and fixed, because this is a really fun game that I'm probably going to do a review video on it, because I've been playing it off and on for a couple of years as they've been working through early access. And it's like, if you've ever played They Are Billions, it's kind of like that. But it's kind of like that meets Warcraft 3, because it's obviously more of a fantasy setting. You've got hero characters that have different types of abilities. So you play like survival mode, like in They Are Billions. But there's also a campaign that you go through which feels very much like kind of a Warcraft 3 derivative. Sounds like a bad word, but it's kind of like that's kind of what it is, in that style of Warcraft 3. So, but very fun to play. And then the survival mode being the main mode, where you survive, trying to build out your base and get bigger and stronger while facing bigger and stronger hordes of these monsters coming to destroy you at night. And then at the end, of course, you have this big crazy rush where you're taking on tens of thousands of units in a big rush, and you got to hold out and stand against them. So if you like that style of game, I think it's really fun. And then hopefully they'll get the multiplayer fixed. But I'll do probably a review on this soon, because I think it's a really fun game. Now for my final game of the week, this probably isn't one that's going to make a big splash on the scene, but I am a sucker for any time a solo developer goes for it with some kind of crazy idea, and just to see if it'll work. And this game is definitely going to be that. This is Rogue Hex. So this is a 4X strategy game, obviously with very simple graphics, but again, solo dev. So doing what they can with what they got. But the mechanics of this game sound really complicated and really interesting, because it's taking all the elements of a 4X, like a Civilization type game, but layering on top of it roguelike elements. So like random runs. Every time you play, it's going to be a little different. You're not going to be able to just get the same options every time. And then deck building. So like Slay the Spire being that type of roguelike where you're getting cards, and those are going to be allowing you, like, what your units, what you can build, what you can research is going to be different every time. And you're trying to make the best of the hand you're dealt. I haven't actually played it yet, but it's only $15 and it's on sale right now on release. So pretty accessible price wise. It's getting good reviews from players so far. So it seems like one that I'm definitely going to try out and probably do a video on it if it's fun, because I just love this idea of just mashing these different genres I enjoy, sticking them together, see if it works. I think 4X kind of naturally leans towards the kind of run-based nature of roguelikes. And whenever I play, a lot of times I like to do the randomized tech trees if that's an option, because to me that makes it a little more interesting. You're not just doing the same thing every time. You're having to kind of deal with both the world being procedurally generated and different enemies, different situations, but also what resources you have access to could be different, which technologies come up for you in this run, and having to build your strategy around that versus going in already knowing what you're going to do. So expect a video on this one probably at some point, because I just love the idea, and I love anytime a solo dev is doing something crazy and out there. And usually that's where a lot of innovation comes from. We get these small games that have a great idea and everyone loves it, and then the bigger companies come in and kind of swoop in and steal some of their ideas for their next version of their big game, which I don't know if that'll happen with Rogue Hex here, but I like the idea, so I'm going to try it out. And then that is all of our news for this week. As always, if you've got something you're excited about that I missed, be sure and email me, and I'll try to stick it into the next video. And then if you want to see your game featured here, send it my way. Pretty much anything strategy, I will at least try out and play. And I love all different types of strategy games, so I am willing to try just about anything. And other than that, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.